Well, Paul, here on the ground in Frankfurt at Cyber Revolution, we've experienced 3 days of hardcore tech talk. We've been very much hearing about cyber security, but in the age of AI, it's been a pretty roller coaster ride, I would say, of emotion, in fact, not something we normally associate with technology, but we have seen some impassioned speeches, and not least we've seen some controversial.
Hi there, I am Pam. Welcome back to the channel. Paul was in Frankfurt this week at the Cyberevolution conference, where he interviewed Ron Nissim from Identity Access Gurus Entitle.io. And here it is.
Ron Nissim from Entitle.io, welcome to the show. How's it been for you?
Frankfurt is an exciting city, I gotta say.
Yeah?
No, I'm kind of joking.
You can see right now how exciting.
Exactly. No, but the conference has been amazing. A lot of great practitioners, a lot of industry veterans, people that have been in this game for decades, and it's just incredible to see.
Let's just put this sticker up so. Well, that's great. Yeah. So it's the second day, and did you see? Did you catch any good presentations? Anything that stands out?
For sure, the leading from my perspective was Mr. Kuppinger himself. I mean, not to sound like a suck up, but but it was really interesting because the premise was two aspects, I think, which he focused on. One was the evolution of who cared about access management and when throughout the life cycle of the organization, starting with the IT team, and then evolving into compliance, and then evolving into security, and then evolving into just general operations and ease of use. I thought that was really interesting to see how different stakeholders took responsibility. The other was how access management and IAM is kind of it's the basis of any zero trust policy, which I think zero trust has kind of become such an overused buzzword that we're all kind of tired of it. But when you really look at the essence of it, it was interesting to kind of go from first principles. What does actual zero trust mean, and then focusing on IAM as a core function of that.
So we did the Kim Leadership Compass, which your company was involved, and I think you're okay with that, the results. But I wonder for me, it was interesting to see companies like yours, the smaller cloud-native guys, the nimble guys, and then who have sort of set the pace in all this. And now suddenly you've got CyberArk, Beyond Trust, not yet, but about to come into it, Microsoft and everything. So how do you feel about that?
I'm excited, I got to say. First of all, I think I've been pleasantly surprised by the ability of these companies to innovate. I think overall for the industry, that's a very positive thing. When people start moving slow, it hurts all of us. And when everyone's innovating and moving quickly, then that just makes the pace faster for everyone. So I think that makes us better. I think that makes them better. I think it helps educate the industry on what's important and why it's important. There's nothing worse than being a lone startup that's trying to convince everyone of a need and being the only one doing it.
How long you've been around for? How long? Pretty young, isn't it?
Yeah. We just came up on our 2-year birthday.
So that is quite young, but you're doing well, huh?
Yeah, it's been a hell of a ride. We've been fortunate to have a lot of very exciting early adopters that have kept us honest and made sure that we're actually delivering what we promise and that we're quick to do so. And a lot of great investors, which we've learned a lot from. So, and then obviously opportunities like these, which is a great way to meet industry veterans and it's easy to be the startups that's full of himself and comes around with the hubris and thinks he's the smartest guy in the room. I wouldn't put myself behind that, but definitely just getting to learn from a lot of people here.
And you're based in New York, yeah?
I just moved to New York from Tel Aviv, so that's been an exciting move.
You like New York?
Of course. New York is an amazing, amazing city. I mean, not without its problems, but I think what's been amazing about New York is the openness and ability to meet new people, which you don't necessarily see in a lot of places just because it's such an immigrant-centered city. People from all over the world come there basically for the dream, and coming with everyone that's hustling, and the sky's the limit there. It's not only you, it's everyone is working their asses off, and frankly it can be somewhat daunting because you come from a place where you're the fastest mover or one of the fastest movers, and then you come in and there are people that are just light years.
And what about, obviously it's a good place for potential customers, so I imagine, are you looking financial services, insurance, or any other businesses?
Yeah, so I mean, as you might imagine, I'm sure in your work, the companies that are more focused or more serious about cybersecurity earlier on are the companies that either are highly regulated or deal with very sensitive information. And so I'd say that definitely the financial services sector has taken cybersecurity very seriously, and that provides a lot of opportunity. But what's cool about New York is it's moved much beyond the original banking sector that I think it was known for. A lot of tech unicorns set up shop there as well. So not only does that provide a good peer group for Entitle, but also provides a good customer base to start off from.
Okay, let's ask the question that everyone likes to ask. Are we going to see the end of privilege access management and standing privileges and all that password stuff?
I hope so. Well, I think what's cool about how this is all evolving, and this goes back to your question about how other companies are thinking about this, is everyone's starting to understand that this is where the world's going, is we can't fight it, right? And it's the classic innovator's dilemma on, either you try to hold on to how you know the industry to be and hope that it will stay in your court, or you adapt with what customers are seeing. And at the end of the day, we all want the same things. And I think the idea that privileged access is not a binary yes or no, it's not a privileged identity. Rather, it's a spectrum, and you have privileged data that is more sensitive, you have data that is less sensitive, and that's part of a general policy of access management. I think organizations are starting to think like that, customers are starting to think like that, and when they think like that, then obviously it's on us.
Yeah, I picked up a phrase here from another speaker that he talks about pets and cattle. Do you understand that phrase? No. Okay. Well, apparently, in the way I took it to mean was that you have your pets, which are precious, and you look after them, and they're like, you don't want to lose them. And then you have cattle, which are kind of unfortunately expendable. There's millions of them, and you don't need to protect them so much. So that, I think, was quite a good analogy of how we should see privilege access.
I like that, and I think that at the end of the day, it's very easy as a security team to say, I need to take care of the whole organization and all the users and all the systems. But the reality is that, as security professionals, everything in life is about prioritizing, and we can't prioritize everything. And so focusing on the things that we care about the most, that frankly matter to the business the most. What are the things that, can influence business continuity, can really hurt the reputation of the organization? Those are the things that as CISOs we need to focus on. And then obviously there's a long tail of plenty of other things to cover, but that's top priority.
Great. Okay, Ron Nissim from Entitle.io, thank you. And goodbye from Frankfurt.